Tonight, Democrats who control the House Oversight Committee are considering a subpoena for Michael Cohen, President Trump's former fixer. Earlier today, Cohen announced that he was postponing his testimony before the committee, which was set for February 7th. He says his decision is due to what he calls ongoing threats against his family by President Trump and Rudy Giuliani. So let's talk about this now with Congressman Jamie Raskin, a Maryland Democrat who is a member of the House Oversight Committee. So good to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
What do you think about this? Michael Cohen saying he's worried about death threats to his family from Rudy Giuliani and the president. Number one, do you think he should be worried?
Well, witness tampering is a crime, and obstruction of justice is a crime, and witness intimidation is a crime. So this is well known, of course, in mafia circles. We know that it's not invented out of thin air, at the very least, because the president has been tweeting out insinuating statements about Michael Cohen's father-in-law and about Michael Cohen's wife. It's a sign of how far we've fallen because of the president's spectacular hatred for the rule of law, that we would even think it's a normal thing for a president to be trying to interfere with a federal witness or someone who's coming to testify before Congress. It's extraordinary. So,
let me get it very clearly here. Do you think it's, because I asked in my open, is this witness intimidation?
Well, we don't know, because we don't know the facts. We don't know exactly what Michael Cohen is referring to. And of course, our committee is determined to see that he testify, and we will take all necessary precautions to protect his safety and security on the way in, on the way out, and we will do whatever we can to see that he does not suffer any reprisals or retaliation.
Okay, let me just ask you, and I'll let you get to that. You said on the way in or on the way out, and I'm sure that's probably the least of his concern. He's in Washington, D.C. then when he's coming to testify with you, right? A lot of security, Secret Service. But in his everyday life, I think that's what he's concerned about, because his family, they're out and about. They don't have the luxury as a president does, and that government workers do, right? Our elected officials do, to have security provided to them by their jobs or by the government. Can you assure him beyond the Capitol?
Well, it's a great question, and it's one that my staff is researching today. In the ordinary course of things, we protect people through the Capitol Police on their way into the building, on the way out of the building, and so on. And obviously, this presents extraordinary circumstances. But we want his testimony. We need his testimony. And we cannot allow the president to get away with this, acting, as Mr. Comey put it, like a mafia chieftain, like a mafia boss. We're not going to allow him to intimidate our witnesses.
I want to play some of what we have heard from President Trump. Here it is.
Did he make a deal to keep his wife, who supposedly, maybe I'm wrong, but you can check it. Did he make a deal to keep his wife out of trouble?
He should give information maybe on his father-in-law, because that's the one that people want to look at, because where does that money? That's the money in the family.
What is his father-in-law's name?
I don't know, but you'll find out and you'll look into it, because nobody knows what's going on over there.
So it's okay to go after the father-in-law?
Now, of course it is. If the father-in-law is a criminal, it comes from the Ukraine. The reason that's important is he may have ties to something called organized crime. When somebody testifies against your client, you go out and you look at what's wrong with.
Interesting. So should Mueller investigate this, Congressman?
Well, first of all, the major job of the President of the United States is to, quote, take care that the laws are faithfully executed. If the President knew about mafia activity from anyone, including all those people who are his closest associates, including his lawyer, who have gone to jail or are going to jail or being indicted, he has a responsibility. He had a responsibility to turn it over, not to use it as part of a campaign to intimidate witnesses. I mean, think about this. If he really knows about criminal activity, he should have turned it over a long time ago, or he should prepare it and he should send it to the FBI. But he's just acting like a petty mob chieftain, saying, oh, well, if you tell on me, I'm going to tell on you, and I know about your brother, and I know about your father-in-law. It's an extraordinary situation when you think about it.
But when you think about it, honestly, God forbid something odd happens when you're talking in the Cohen situation. Wouldn't that be confirmation that of what the president is doing or has done, or that he is trying to keep Michael Cohen from saying what he has to say?
Well, just from the tweets we've seen, he's obviously trying to derail Michael Cohen's testimony before the United States Congress, and the Republicans in Congress, unfortunately, are going along with that and trying to already undermine his testimony and cast doubt on it and so forth. Look, this is taking place in the broader context of the shutdown of the government of the United States. So the president, rather than working to reopen the government of the United States as we are demanding, as we are passing legislation every day to do, instead is caught up in this investigation. And it's starting, in my mind, it's really starting to corroborate those books and articles which are saying that this is a president who has a decades-long involvement with the Russian mafia and organized crime figures and the tycoons, the oligarchs in Russia, and now all of it's coming back to haunt him, and he doesn't care about the government of the United States and the federal workforce. All of that's out the window. He's just trying to save his own hide.
Congressman, thank you very much for